The title of my story today is The Gold Beneath Our Feet. In the dense heart of southern Nigeria, where rivers run deep and the earth hides ancient secrets, lies a quiet village of Olum. For centuries, Olum had remained isolated from the rest of the world. Nestled between verdant hills and thick forest, the villagers were mostly farmers and hunters. People who knew the land and respected it. But in Olum, there was a tale passed down from generation to generation. A story told in whispers around evening fires and shadowed by unspoken fears. It was the legend of the hidden gold. It was said that centuries ago, a powerful king had ruled over the land. His wealth was unimaginable. His gold sparkled brighter than the sun. But fearing for the safety of his kingdom, he buried his entire treasury somewhere in Olum and put a curse on it, so that no one would dare search for it. The legend claimed that anyone who tried to find the king's treasure would face great misfortune, for his spirits guarded it fiercely. Few dared believe in the tale, yet the mystery of the hidden gold was part of the village soul. But as the years passed, the legend faded into myth, until one fateful day when a young man named Tunde stumbled upon the strange discovery while tilling his father's farm. The shiny stone. Tunde was the youngest son of a family of 4 children, a curious, intelligent young man known for his boundless energy and stubborn streak. His family was well respected but poor, and Tunde often dreamt of finding a way to change their fortunes. One morning, as he was hoeing a patch of dry earth, his hoe struck something hard. He bent down and cleared the dirt, finding a small, smooth stone gleaming in the sunlight. It was strange, unlike anything he had ever seen before, polished and golden with strange markings. Tunde's heart raced. He tucked the stone into his pocket and finished his work for the day. Later, under the cover of night, he examined it more closely. As he turned it over, he noticed an engraving of a symbol he had only seen in old carvings at the village shrine. Was it part of the hidden gold? His mind swelled with questions. Excited and fearful, Tunde confided in his best friend Chika. Chika was loyal but cautious, and when Tunde showed him the stone, his face paled. You know what they say about the hidden gold, Tunde? This is dangerous. They say anyone who goes looking for it faces a curse. But Tunde only laughed, calling the curse an old wives' tale. He persuaded Chika to join him in his search for the gold, reasoning that the riches would free them and their families from hardship. After a sleepless night, they agreed to begin their quest at dawn. The Cave of the Kings. Following the faint hints in local lore, Tunde and Chika made their way through the forest and hills for hours until they found a cave carved into the side of the rock, a place the villagers had always avoided, claiming it was the lair of spirits. Ignoring their fear, they stepped inside. The cave was dark and cold, the air thick with mystery. Tunde lit a torch and the shadows danced eerily on the walls. As they ventured deeper, they found symbols etched into the cave walls, the same symbols as on Tunde's stone. Their heart raced with anticipation and dread. After walking for what felt like hours, they reached a large stone door. Tunde hesitated but pushed it open. Inside, they found something astounding, a hidden chamber filled with golden artifacts, jewels, and ornaments. They had found the king's treasure. But as they celebrated, the ground trembled, and an eerie whisper echoed through the chamber, freezing them in place. Who dares disturb the gold of kings? The voice demanded, chilling their bones. Tunde and Chika turned to see a ghostly figure in a regal attire standing before them. The spirit's eyes glowed like embers, and his voice carried an authority that crushed their courage. Leave or suffer the curse, the spirit warned. Terrified, Chika begged Tunde to leave, but greed overpowered Tunde's fear. He stuffed a handful of gold into his pocket, declaring, "This wealth belongs to our people now." The moment he touched the gold, the ground quaked violently. Rocks began to fall, and the spirit raised his hand, casting a shadow over Tunde. Chika grabbed his friend, pleading with him to let go of the gold, but Tunde was unyielding. In their panic, they stumbled out of the cave, barely escaping the collapse. As they emerged into daylight, they thought they were saved, but they were wrong. The price of greed. As soon as they reached the village, strange events began to unfold. Tunde's family's crop withered overnight. His father fell ill with an unknown sickness, and his youngest sister was plagued by nightmares. The villagers noticed the misfortunes befalling Tunde's family and whispered among themselves that they had angered the spirit. Chika, too, suffered in silence, haunted by terrifying visions of the spirit each night. He confronted Tunde, begging him to return the gold and seek forgiveness. But Tunde was stubborn, dismissing the event as mere coincidence. Desperation blinded him as he continued to hoard the gold he had stolen, even secretly selling some to strangers from distant towns. But soon, even Tunde could not deny the cost. His wealth came at a high cost. His friends and family shunned him. His father's illness worsened, and he was tormented by visions of the spirit who warned him of dire consequences. Driven to the brink of madness, Tunde saw the guidance of the village elder, Baba Agba. Baba Agba was a wise, enigmatic figure, known for his deep knowledge of ancient law and the spirit that protected the land. He listened to Tunde's tale without judgment, his eyes grave. The spirit of the king will not rest until his gold is returned. Baba Agba told him, "You must go back to the cave and leave an offering to seek his forgiveness." Desperate and terrified, Tunde agreed. But when he returned to the cave, he realized the gold he had taken was gone, leaving him empty-handed and vulnerable. The spirit's demand. In his despair, Tunde knelt before the cave, calling out to the spirit, begging for forgiveness. The ground shook and the spirit appeared once more, his presence more menacing than before. "The curse cannot be lifted without a sacrifice," the spirit intoned. Tunde trembled, tears streaming down his face as he begged for mercy. "What must I do?" The spirit's voice was cold and resolute. "To appease me, you must choose, surrender your life or offer the life of another." Stunned, Tunde staggered backward. The spirit had offered an escape, but at a horrifying cost. He was given 3 days to decide. In those 3 days, Tunde wrestled with his conscience. His family suffered, and whispers of his cursed fate grew louder in the village. Torn between his own life and the lives of those he loved, he spiraled deeper into despair, feeling trapped in an inescapable nightmare. Finally, on the 3rd day, he made his decision. He would return to the spirit alone, willing to pay the price. Redemption and revelation. At dawn, Tunde stood at the entrance of the cave, awaiting the spirit. As he prepared for his fate, Chika appeared, having followed him. Chika, still loyal despite everything, refused to let his friend face death alone. As they argued, the spirit materialized, his face impassive. "You have come to pay your debt?" he asked, his voice echoing. "Yes," Tunde said, his voice shaking. "I am ready." But at that moment, Chika stepped forward, offering himself in Tunde's place. "Take me," he declared. "Spare my friend." The spirit studied them both, a flicker of sadness in his eyes. "Such loyalty is rare," he said, his voice softer. "Perhaps, after all, the land does not need gold, but heart like yours." With that, the spirit raised his hand, and the cave trembled one last time. The golden artifact vanished, leaving only a small token, a wooden carving of 2 friends holding hands, a symbol of loyalty and sacrifice. The spirit's voice faded as he gave them his final words. "The real treasure lies in the bond you share, in the loyalty that outlasts gold. Go and let this be a lesson." As Tunde and Chika returned to Holum, they found that the curse had lifted, the crops flourished, Tunde's father recovered, and the village misfortunes ceased. Tunde had learned a lesson he would carry forever, that true wealth lies not in gold, but in loyalty, love, and the courage to face one's mistakes. The story of Tunde and the eating goat spread beyond Olum, becoming a new legend, a tale of friendship and redemption that reminded the world of the gold hidden not beneath their feet, but within their heart. Thank you so much for staying with us. Thank you so much for staying with us. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe for more interesting stories. Thank you.